the MV Portland sailing out of Portland Harbour. It's 3 a.m. in the morning. At 1 a.m. this morning, the Australian crew were forcibly removed from the vessel by security guards. Over 25 security guards removed them, and a foreign crew has manned the vessel, and the vessel is sailing out of Portland Harbour as we speak.
I've never seen stress like it on any ship that I've either worked on or serviced as a union official.
Crew member from the Alexander Spirit, Andy. So can you please step forward and come in there and say
I'd been exposed to campaigns and to disputes and things of that nature before, but not to the severity of what losing the Alex was going to mean.
We've been sacked and we're going to get replaced with foreign crew.
Well, I think for Jackie, I don't think it was too hard because the ship was in Devonport, which is her area. But the other thing that resonated was once that ship left the coast, Tasmania was going to be the first state completely reliant on international shipping for its fuel supply.
It's finished. And Caltex, wake up to yourself. It's a privilege to be.
And from there, Jackie was her own person. She spoke to the crew. She was very sympathetic that they were losing their jobs, but she was equally concerned about Tasmania and Tasmanians and what a lack of fuel security had for the island state.
It was a galvanisation really of our branch members. You got to see our members, the community, even small businesses around our area all come together, and that made you think, well, you know, we can do this. We came together and we put on something that was really, really strong.
Community at Devonport!
As of everywhere, 18 men are entering their 16th day on a Singapore-based oil tanker anchored off Melbourne. The owners want it back, but the men are refusing to budge.
This is the Tandara Spirit, a 183...
We do not have a policy that guarantees that the seafarers on the vessels that are plying the international distribution of fuel are vetted. So at this point of time, we've lost the Hoogley spirit, we've lost the British loyalty, we've lost the Tandara spirit, we've lost the Alexander spirit, and the list goes on.
Captain burst in. He yelled out, "Michael, you've got 10 minutes to get off the vessel."
The industrial action was in protest against a federal government decision granting Alcoa a licence to allow a foreign crew to replace Australian workers moving its cargo.
A conspiracy can deliver the exploitation of these seafarers that have been imported into the country illegally, we believe, that have been escorted inside of this multinational leasehold, that have been brought up the gangway by what is just amounts to thuggery, bullying and harassment that would not be acceptable to any Australian in any home or any workforce, and taken out of your bunk and deposited outside at 1:30 in the morning in the cold with no future and shock. And you say that is the country we want to live in? No! Well, we're going to do something about it.
In advance, once informed, what action did the Minister take to defend Australian jobs on the MV Portland?
Mr. President, I will not come in here and I will not defend unlawful action by the most militant union in Australia.
A rant about the MUA, with respect, cannot be directly relevant.
Fucking hell, eh? What a fucking joke.
Now we are down to one single coastal tanker on this trade. Once that is removed, Australia will be completely reliant on foreign vessels with foreign seafarers, unvetted, transporting our fuel around our coast.
They don't want us anymore to work on this trade, delivering fuel for the Queenslanders. Shame. After 50 years of service,
Australian seafarers are forced to compete with some of the most exploited workers in the world. Now, it's impossible for an Australian seafarer to compete on that basis. Companies like BP, Caltex and Viva are solely responsible for the destruction of the Australian tanker fleet. There are ships just about in every port carrying consistent coastal cargo trade that Australian seafarers have been excluded from carrying. Workers will be thrust into a race to the bottom and a fight for their jobs and for their survival.
A leadership.
This government under Malcolm Turnbull are absolutely convinced that there is no place for an Australian shipping industry, no place for Australian seafarers, and that we should leave our coast open to whatever system is available. And of course we know, and the world knows, that the cheapest system is flag of convenience. If this government is going to replace our workers with cheap alternatives to save a foreign ship owner money, it's bizarre. There is a premium for our national security. We're paying it every day for our Army, Navy, Air Force. Why don't we consider a national domestic shipping industry in the same light?
Ultimately, Australian shipping will survive on the basis of strong laws, and our capacity to organise, to mobilise and to fight against the ship owners and the shippers that keep us from carrying our coastal cargoes. We cannot sit by and let any government of any persuasion promise us the world and not deliver.
We're not entitled to know who owns the ships that are servicing our ports, doing whatever they're doing is bloody crazy.
We're the fourth largest user of ships in the world, and given away to a bunch of people that are just consolidating their international power, what are they going to do? They say, oh well, we're not going to put the shipping rates up because those Aussies were really good, they gave us their shipping industry. We owe them something. Horse shit. Is that what the Liberians are going to say? And the Panamanians are going to say, and the FOC operators? They're going to squeeze us so hard around the throat, something will come out the other end. That's what's going to happen. That's what they'll be doing to Australia.
Let's get rid of this rotten government and put some food on the table for Australian families. We demand it. We demand our jobs. Stand up! Fight back! Stand up! Fight back! Stand up! Fight back! Stand up! Fight back!